All right, well, jumping right back into it, we're gonna get right into blue. And Andy, kick us off here.
Alrighty, we got my very own star, Juna Hoshimi. At the beginning of your climax phase, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it back where you found it. And brainstorm, rest this card, flip over 4 cards for each climax, search your deck. Brainstormer we've been talking about the whole time, the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is a great brainstorm. It's just not a Calruco or Futaba, which is why you don't see it more, I guess. But
Yeah, I feel like I generally prefer deck search brainstormers over salvage brainstormers.
yeah,
I
Just
would
it,
say too, especially since this set has a lot of salvage already, like the Ricky salvages.
that's like the first effect is underrated information. It lets you set up like nasty sides if you leave this card in your back row in the late game by looking at
yeah,
top.
you're right. It essentially tells you what order to attack in, which is a big deal.
Yeah, it like gives you additional information about how to sequence, which is a great passive ability for a card you want to sit in your back row all game anyway.
But is it as good as Giraffe?
It's a
Oh
hell of
my
a lot better than
god.
Giraffe. It is a hell of a lot better than Giraffe.
If only Giraffe were a brainstorm.
So how many brainstorms do we have in this set? We have the Trial Deck Mahiru Draw Brainstorm. We have Kaoruko. We have this. We have the Karen and
Scammable
Hikari.
one.
Yeah, the one repeatable brainstorm that gives power to level zeros in front of it.
The Draw 2 Ditch 1 Brainstorm. That's
I think it's like
5.
5.
Unless there's another secret blue brainstorm that we haven't seen yet.
I don't think so. I think so. 5 brainstorms to choose from, all with different effects. But yeah, I think this is great. Again, I think the only reason you don't see more of it is because the Revue decks do mill a lot. So like a salvage brainstormer is fine, and the salvage brainstormer happens to be a Calruco.
I think the fact that it's a Karuko is really what pushes it over the edge, honestly.
Because it gives you a reason to not like throw it away in the end game. It makes it not a dead card in your hand. Because there's no reason you can't even get value off the second effect. You know, like the first effect rather. Like the first effect doesn't give any additional value for having another one. You know, so there's no reason to play it after you have one.
Yeah.
You're just running multiples to see more of it or double search brainstorm, which is pretty dubious, honestly. Having 2 searches in the back, I don't know. That feels clunky to me.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to be playing over one of them eventually with a level assist or maybe a married life if you're running that.
Yeah,
You really need one of these.
I still think this card's great. I think that you could feasibly run like 2 of this and 3 of the Calruco and be fine if you like really have a bad time finding your brainstormer for some reason and you run 5. I think that's totally fine to like go down on other techs to run an additional brainstorm. You can split 3 and 2 and be fine. That's what I was originally tooling with when I was building my deck. Like I basically 8-win deck. I was running this at 3 Calruco, 2 of this, and it seemed pretty good. But I dropped it pretty quickly once I realized how much the deck like milled out itself just from the tech cards. So it felt kind of like repetitive, just like, oh, I should just have another Calruco. Because like I keep saying, it's a lot harder to hold those Calrucos in your hand, like Calrucos and Futabas, like to have all of them at the end game. Like, it seems trivial, and it should be trivial, but for some reason, it's just not.
But what it sounds like to me is it really depends which brainstorm you run. If you're running the yellow Carico Futaba build, you probably use the yellow brainstorm. That's more concerned with the knowledge of the top card of your deck, you probably go with the Juna.
Yeah, I think in any deck built around Scry, like the top checking, the Scry till you die list, basically. This card is just even better. Or maybe it's too much, right? Like that's what I'm thinking is like when I was trying to brew like standby wind, like we said before, and like what I ended up doing was 3 of the Calruco and then 2 of the Mahiru for the top check engine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's running a draw brainstormer. You could also just run 2 of this and you get knowledge of the first card, which is
Yeah,
I guess what matters the most.
Yeah, I mean, in standby, the draw brainstorm might be better solely due to the fact that you can draw your climaxes.
Yeah.
After thinking about it more, I think in that list, the standby wind list, I think you would just run 4 copies of the Calico. Just because, like you said, it's hard to get those cards in your hand to begin with.
And if you're running a like standby strategy, you're cutting down on the number of Calrucos and Futabas even more. Because you're probably running the Karen.
I just don't think you have room for the top check brainstorm in that list.
Like there's just so many good utility zeros in this set, and there's just not enough space for all of them. Makes it really hard to like pick which is the best one for your deck. That being said, you have 5 options, and only one of them is bad, objectively.
I think in general this is the strongest brainstormer.
Yeah, in a vacuum by itself. Yeah, I agree. A plus, yeah.
So, yeah.
The strongest standalone brainstormer, like in a vacuum, for sure.
Agreed.
At least she's good for something, Juna. All right, next card.
All right, we have Brave Readiness Maya. She is a level 3, 9,000 power. If you have 2 or more other Revue characters, she gets 2,000 power, goes up to 11k. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you can pay 1, choose 1 Noble Will Claudine in your waiting room, put it on any position of your stage. She has a climax combo that activates up to 2 times per turn. When this card attacks, if the blue gate is in your climax area, you can put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. You get to heal 1. Or heal twice in the case where the Claudine restands this card.
Before we even talk about this, let's just go and read the Claudine now, so that we know exactly what's going on. So let's hop over to that. Okay, so Noble Will, Claudine Saijo. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand or by the auto effect of Brave Readiness, my Attendo, the card we just looked at, look it up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. So it looks at 3, takes 1, you don't have to reveal it, it can be a climax. But it digs for its own climax combo, even when you play it off the Maya. Then the climax combo is this ability activates up to 1 time per turn. At the end of this card's attack, if the pants climax is in your climax area, you may pay cost, which is pay 3 and ditch 1. You choose the Maya that we looked at in the middle, and it has to be in the middle position of your center stage, and you stand it. So that's why it can heal twice.
Right.
So I guess let's pop back to the Maya. It's worth noting that you can only stand the middle lane. You can even if you play 2 Mayas, you can only stand the Maya. It's not like the Karen, where the Karen needs 1 copy in the center lane to burn, so the other lane can burn. Only the Maya can stand.
But both Claudines can stand the Maya. So you could swing 3 times with the Maya, but unfortunately you only get 2 heals.
Yeah, you only get 2 heals, but you can swing. You can get 5 attacks with a restander, which is attacking multiple times in the same lane gives me an anxiety attack with restanders, because they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and yeah, you can side out, but that relies on your opponent like not looking at your waiting room your whole game to see that you are running these cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they can very easily throw a 0 down if they want to leave a body, or just leave the lane open, which is even worse for you because the direct soul sticks into each one. So it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and you can't side it. That's my only problem with that. All these restanders that only stand in 1 lane, they rely on your opponent not playing around it at all.
Yeah.
This one especially, I mean, it has to be in the middle. So it's completely telegraphed. They know it's going to be in the middle lane every time.
Yeah.
Other restanders, you can at least put it wherever you want.
So optimally, you play this and one Claudine from hand for 4, and then pay 1 to get the other one. So it is stock efficient. That's 5, and you look at 6 cards, so you can throw your climaxes away. So you're more compressed, which is notable. That's like a really good finisher line. You only need 5 stock. And how much overhead do you need? Because it's at the end of the attack. So if you want to do it twice, that's pay 3, ditch 1. You need 5. You get 2 attacks. So you go from 5 to 2, and you need 3. So you need 6 to start to get 1. You need 6 to start to get 1 if you're... And then your side lane's free. So you can start with nothing and do 1 restand. So you can get 2 heals on just 5 stock. And you get 4 attacks. If you do it that way.
I think what would turn out to be the optimal way to play this card would just be to go for the combo once. And then use another finisher in the third lane.
Like a costless finisher or whatever.
Just something else. Because the thing I really like about this finisher is the fact that it's efficient. You can go down to no stock. It says after this card's attack, pay 3. You can go to nothing and then still have the 3 to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I like the fact that it digs for its own climax too. I'm a huge fan of finishers that dig for their own climax.
I'm just trying to think how much stock overhead you'd need to play the whole shebang. Like for 5 stock, you get all 3 of them.
You just pay 3. I think you need to add 5 to that, right? 2 more for the Maya, and then
because you need 5. You need 5 to play it all. You gain 2 on your first attack. Then she stands, and then you get another 2. So you need 7 stock to play out 5 attacks. You need 7 stock. So for 7 stock, you get 5 attacks with 2 heals on it, which is like pretty good. That's pretty good. It like again, it just suffers from being this has to be in the center lane. Your opponent has to be a Mongoloid to not play around it, or they have to have gone all in the previous turn. And I think this is yet another combo, just like the Hikari and Karen, where you want to be the one to hit 3 first.
I think you want to hit 3 second. That way you can heal.
So the heal, I agree.
Maybe you hit 3 first. Because I played a little bit with this card, and it's a little bit awkward. Because the whole appeal of the combo is the double heal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 3-0 or 3-1. You kind of want to wait a turn.
Yeah, it's
a little bit awkward.
That's the clunky part. It's like you want them to have things on their board which meet so that your restander in that one lane has a chance to at least side if it gets too big. If you like skillfully trigger, like, you know, God forbid you're playing like a stock soul and you trigger 2 soul. And so you want your opponent to have something down, which means you want to hit 3 first, but the heal part of it wants you to respond. It's like the mechanics of the card are playing against each other a little bit. Still, I think so. Okay, if you're only doing 1, you only need 3 stock. You only need 3 stock and a shitter in the other lane, and you can get 4
what would be
attacks.
the other finisher you'd run though? Like
the Futaba that pings. The Futaba that pings. Maybe.
I think something else that pings for 1. I think.
And I guess in this build you do run the Nana, right?
Like, the Nana level 3.
The Nana.
I don't think so.
But
the one that summons to their field. You don't need to reverse with this combo.
Yeah, but think about it. You don't need to reverse. But think about it. If this is a card, okay, say that you're incredibly smart and you count your whole deck soul triggers, and you know that you have a very high % chance of triggering a lot of soul triggers. You could play the Nana, drag a level 2 backup to their open lane if they're playing around you, and then you get to side it.
Oh, if you're going like multiple times with the attacks, then yeah, you can set up like if they play smart and leave their center lane open,
You get to
by
punish them with
summoning to it.
Nana.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth putting Nana behind this just because both of these cards don't get very big on their own as level 3s.
Yeah, for sure.
So it does have. I think this has better synergy with the Nana than the Karen and Hikari combo does.
I'd say the Karen one has more because you need to reverse with that.
Well, I was about to say, like, ironically, because even though you need reverse, I think the fact that this is standing in the one lane, because if you're standing this over and over and triggering a bunch of soul in direct, your attacks are worthless unless your opponent like just has a shit last deck, and it's not like Revue has a way to force your opponent to have a shit last deck, unlike decks like Konosuba or God knows whatever else has a Fumio. Like
I don't know. I mean, you're gonna eat 4 eventually. So that's good.
I wish Weiss
You're
worked
just
that
eventually
way.
gonna.
Eventually, you hit them out. I guess it does.
Eventually, they're gonna eat it.
I guess.
Those are words to live by.
I still love that it only takes 3 stock to get 4 attacks before you go
I
to
think
attacks.
I think that is the best thing it has going for it is the fact that
and it heals twice. So like
minimal stock investment.
So you can like play a costless like aggressive turn in a way where you kind of like play around your opponent getting reverse for their combo and then respond with this and heal. Just pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can like do some crazy shit too where you like refresh your deck. Go on deck, you refresh, take the point, and then heal it off before passing turn.
Yeah. This is just
situational, but I guess it's worth noting.
I think the main reason to play this combo is that it only takes 3 stock to do what we think is optimal, which is like one combo stands twice with some other card in the other lane. And your only cost for the other card is whatever cost is printed on the card, so you don't have to like think too hard about it. Like if you want to play the Futaba in the 3rd lane, that's 3 stock. You need 3 stock over 3. You need 6. Because the stock that you generate from attacking is the stock that pays for the stand.
Right, exactly.
Because it happens at the end of the attack, so that's really good. Yeah, I think the efficiency of the combo is what makes it good. I just hate that it stands in only the middle lane, and your opponent has to like not care at all to not play around it. They have to make a conscious effort to not play around this combo, because that's what makes restanders like people wary of playing a lot of restanders, is that when they restand in the same lane every time, they just get soul after soul after soul after soul. And it's part of the reason why Sunder is like, you know, the ultimate quote-unquote restander, because they get to move it when they Sunder, so that they, even if they have to start in the center, they can move to something else that's left on board, no matter what it is.
Well, that and they switch to a different character after their attack.
Yeah,
so
that too. They reset their souls. They don't stick. So like, you know, this is the complete opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
The Nana helps get around it though, which makes it not as bad. I'm gonna give this an A-. I think that if you could somehow finagle this to stand in another lane, like the requirement was for the Claudine to be in the center, like, which makes no narrative, like that makes no flavor sense. Like, I think if the Maya and the Claudine were reversed somehow, where the Claudine was the one that stood, and the Claudines could be in the side lanes, and the Maya was in the center, this would be a lot better. But the fact that they know that the restand is going to happen in the center lane, and you're heavily incentivized to do it multiple times to heal.
Or if they didn't limit you to just 2 heals, that seems like pointless why they would restrict that.
Healing twice for 3 stock is really fucking good.
That's really good.
It doesn't heal on play. Look at every like so many other finishers like Yukina, Sinon, they heal on play.
But they also have like here the heal is quote unquote free. You're paying for the stand. Like pay 3, ditch 1 is a very normal cost for a restand, like across the board. I mean, it's the same cost as the Batman Ninja Climb.
That's the Batman restander cost, yeah.
Pay 3 ditch. I think that's like a very vanilla cost for a restander. So for basically no additional cost, you get to heal twice when the card attacks.
For that restander to then heal twice, I feel like for only an investment of 3 stock, I feel like makes this card pretty good.
Like you said, there are cute plays where if you're at like you're down to like 2 cards in deck because of something your opponent did or something like that after you draw, and you can set it up so like you heal once, you save yourself from like dying at 3/6, so you heal to 3/5, you refresh and then you heal again.
It's like they're just subtly hinting at saying like, oh, you should only play 2 of these. You shouldn't play the 3rd copy. It's like they're just subtly telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just like you only play these 2 lesbians. Don't play any other lesbians with them. Yeah, I'm sticking to my A-. I think it's very good, but if the Claudines and the side lanes were the ones that would restand, it would be so much better. It would contest with Calruco. I think Calruco, and that's crazy because Calruco is so unbelievably destructive. But I think that the ability to like heal twice and stand in the side lanes would be really good, especially if you were only going to play 2.
I think the efficiency of the combo that the Claudine digs for the climax makes it a solid A for me. I think it's definitely a finisher worth considering.
Yeah. I think it's the reason to play blue for sure. Like in general, you play blue to play this combo. It's aggressive and defensive at the same time. It attacks a bunch of times and heals.
Yeah, the card is super good. The fact that it only costs 3 stock and it heals twice is so good. But I think I'm going to give it an A- solely due to the fact that the restander being in the middle lane is so telegraphed.
It's also on pants. That's probably the best finisher to be, like climax trigger to be on your finisher. It's up there. Makes it very consistent that you're going to have it at some point. So, all right. Yeah, let's move over to the Claudine. I think this is just the same score. I don't think there's anything else worth talking about. I think this is just...
We covered it all.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. If you're playing one, you're playing the other.
Yep. I guess there's nothing else this does by itself, right? It digs 3.
It digs 3.
It digs 3. And the Futaba draws 2, ditches 1. So look at 3 is better, but it's not worth running this like empty, you know? Doesn't do anything else. Okay. All right, let's move on.
All right, moving on. We have My Own Shine, Claudine Saijo. If this card's in the middle position, it gets a 2,000 power. And when you play it from your hand, you can discard a climax to choose a Revue character in your waiting room and add it back to hand.
Yeah,
so climax ditcher, and it's 3K in the middle.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. It does, unfortunately, like cloud the center lane, but so what are your options? Are for climax ditch are either this in blue or the Hikari in red that attacks for 35. If it's the last one that attacks, gets 1,000 per attack. One is better in the side lanes. This one's better on its own. I think it comes down to your color fix.
Yeah, or you run the spicy pay 2, ditch 2, search 2 Karen.
That card is unbelievably spicy.
After thinking about it more from yesterday, I think that card's actually really, really good, and I would actually change my score on it to a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think, not to get off topic from this Claudine, but that card is unbelievably good. The more I thought about it after we wrapped up our stream, the better I thought it was. Like, oh,
the fact that it gets to 6,500 on its own.
Yeah, on climax play.
and then gets you your other two.
So those are like your big, like, I don't know. That's not a climax fix though. This is just explicitly a climax fix, and it's going up against the Hikari, which I think is just a better card at 0. Because again, if you're playing Revue Starlight, you're running at least 3 of the Futaba, and you have to have a good reason to not run 4.
Yeah, this is contesting with Futaba in the middle position, and I think it's strictly worse than the Futaba. You have better ditch options, I feel like.
Your ditch options are so plentiful, and it's really unfortunate that this card has to be in the center lane.
Yeah.
When the deck wants to be in the center lane.
Still, I think in a vacuum, this card is fine. I think it's a B. It's just that it goes up against the, I think, much more relevant effect Hikari, because it can be in the side lane. It can be a 3500 in the side lane, and it does the same thing. I think you only run this if you really need a blue fix. Like, really, really desperately need a blue fix, you run this card.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a solid B. It's a perfectly playable card in its own right. It's just outmatched by other cards in what it's trying to do here.
I'm going to give it a C. I don't think you can evaluate it in a vacuum. Every Revue Starlight deck wants to play Futaba.
Yeah, I guess that's
a very niche card.
It does have French flavor text, though.
Commence.
Yeah. B plus. B plus for France.
E for saw commence.
All right. Next card.
All right. Pajama Party Maya. If your stock has 2 or less cards, this card gets 1500 power. Solid 4K stock-based oversize. I generally like this type of card. It's not required to be in the middle position of your center stage, so I'm inclined to rate it fairly highly.
I love it. I love 4K beaters. They're the best.
It's a great answer if you're playing blue. So say you don't want to push your opponent, but you want to clear their field, and they've played 2 things out. Or like say they couldn't answer your Futaba. You can just slam this in the side lane, have 2 4Ks. Like,
you can never go wrong with a 4K.
Like you put a Brainstormer down, or like you play.
I'll never lead you astray.
You play like a Karen Ricky to the back row, and then like you slam this and you have the Futaba down and you have 2 4Ks going into your level 1, and they have to answer it, and you only played 2 cards. You cleared 2 cards, so they're going to be at 0. They're probably going to be at 0-5. So they're either going to have to spend stock with Ricky's to get to 1, which is they're using a lot of resources to get to 1. So they better have their full combo to get back to a full hand. So I think if you're playing blue, I think you play this. I think you could, like, if you're not playing if you're not playing the Karuko that clock bonds to the Futaba, like, you're not playing the whole Karuko top end where, like, you have to have all these Futabas and Karukos in your deck that you can throw away that, like, hopefully have value later in the game. I think if you're playing a more normal lineup, you could run, like, 3 Futaba and 2 of this, and that's, like, a really good answer.
That seems like a real solid level 0, yeah.
Yeah.
And the runner, like, beside the Futaba and this other oversize, and then the runner, the good portion of, like, your... I don't want to call them plussing level 0s, but things that hold field.
Field pluses. That's what I like to call them.
Yeah. I still can't get over the fact that the runner in this set was printed at uncommon.
Yeah, I think that you either run this or the runner as your other one beside your Futaba in some way, and it depends on your color. I think if you play blue, you play this. This is like a B+ for me. It's good. It's a 4K.
I'm going to give it an A. It's a good card. I like it.
It's a good card, and it gives you 2 lanes of 4K, and it sticks into your opponent's next turn, and doesn't force you to, like, push. Like, if you're trying to slow roll the 0, I think this card's amazing. Like, alongside the Futaba, because it's 2 lanes of 4K. So, yeah, simple card.
Either play this or the runner.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just pick. Or you play the Karuka that bounces or whatever. It's like playing more Futabas, I guess. Whatever you need to do. Depends on what you're doing. All right, next card. Okay, My Own Shine, Maya Tendo. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them back on top in any order. So it has the Shiro Runner effect. When this card becomes reversed in battle, if the card's battle opponent is cost 0 loader, you may put that character at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So
What did the red Suicider do? I think there was a 1/0 red Suicider.
it just reversed.
I
I
think
want to compare this to.
It's from the trial deck. It was a 4K on attack that just reversed.
Mm.
This is a cost bomb.
Oh, this is way better. It bottom decks it, so they
It
can't
does.
encore
It's
it.
cost, though. It's a cost bomb. Cost bombs are dicey. Like, every time you'd want to play a bomb, it's against something like Standby where they're playing out 1/1s.
Is it though? They can just hand encore the Silica majority of the time. Thinking of Standby Switch in particular.
Yeah, that's true. Ugh.
I just like that this does something useful when you're setting it up.
The fact that it does the Shiro Runner effect, the look at 2, put them back in any order, that information's really strong, even more so in Revue.
You could even combine that with like, I don't know, maybe like the Ricky that mill the card, right? So you can put the good card underneath and mill the bad one or something.
Yeah, this might help enable some sort of blue-red standby deck. Would be interesting.
I don't know. I'm really wary of cost bombs. I've played with a lot of them, and they never seem to work out the way I want them to. But they definitely do reverse things and send them to the bottom of the deck or stock or clock. Like they're never. You never see cost bombs in red. It's always in blue, green, or yellow. The first effect is good. It's cute with all the Revue top check stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I think it's niche plus. You have to be running a very, very specific kind of build for this card to shine the most, and I think that's what makes it niche.
I think it's a solidly playable card. I would give it a B.
I'm right there with you. I was going to give it a B. I think it's the fact that it has the Shiro Brainstormer effect, the runner effect. It's on the runner, yeah. The Shiro runner effect. Look at the top 2 and put them back in any order. I think that's a more impactful effect than people give it credit for. And
after playing a lot with No Game No Life, it's a really handy effect.
Yeah,
I hate when Andy smugly looks at the top 2 cards. Like he plays turn 1, like he slams down a Shiro turn 1, and he smugly looks at the top 2 cards, puts the top one underneath the other one, and swings, and then just like stands there and looks at me as I swing in and it cancels, and I'm just like, fuck you. The fact that it's at 1 though is notable.
You can't do that. You can't do the smug play. But
it's not as
still
good.
pretty good.
It's not as good because it's at 1, but I think that effect is still strong, especially with all the stuff in Revue. Or like you said, like red blue standby, which I don't know. That's like using no stock at all. Although I guess you want to play the Maya and the Claudine from hand.
And you can run the Maya Claudine finisher and blue gate the standbys back to your hand.
Ooh, that's
pretty good.
But you don't want to play standbys from hand. You want to trigger. Okay, that's a discussion for another time. Okay, let's move on. That's enough about this. All right, you're up, Andy.
Hold on, I gotta get back to the slide.
85
or 86
or 86. Yeah.
All right, My Own Shine Juna. This card is placed from stage to hand. She gets plus 1500 power for the turn. And when she becomes reversed in battle, you can reveal it. Or no. I'm sorry. When this card becomes reversed, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a Revue character, you can pay 1 back to your hand.
Infinite value.
I guess it technically is a plus.
It gets reversed. So
if you're running, maybe if you're running a standby build where you don't have a plus in combo at 1, this is something that's worth running.
it's just a 55 on play.
But pluses.
It's a vanilla. Yeah. It's a vanilla on play.
And then it runs into something and you get it back. It lives
Vanillas
forever.
are basically oversized.
For one though, like it's
Yeah. Well, she attacks and she builds a stock. She pays for herself.
This effect would be broken if this was on frontal attack. Reveal the top card. Pay 1.
Well, yeah, it'd just be Aaron then.
Or just pay 1, then reveal the top card, and you have to gamble. I think that'd be better. The fact that it does get reversed, and the only thing that happens when it gets reversed is that, oh, you can pay 1 to get it back. I don't know.
Yeah,
if this card if this card was one of those cards that swings for 7 if it attacks last, I think it'd be worth it. But the fact that it's only a 55 is bad. Like if it was a 105 where it got 1,000 when your other character attacked, and then you could bounce it because like 7K on its own is relevant, but 55 isn't.
I don't know. I think it's a niche card. I think in standby decks or other decks that might not have a good plus in combo at level 1.
Well, I don't know. Think about it this way.
I think it has a little bit of a spot in those decks, maybe.
The card gets reversed and it goes to the waiting room. On your opponent, so in both cases here, in the first case you pay 1 and you pop it to your hand. So the card is in your hand.
Right.
The second case is you go into your next turn, you brainstorm for 1, you milled 4, you hit 1 or 2 climaxes, and you get this card back anyway. Like,
or you could pay 1, get this back to your hand, then brainstorm and get another card.
Exactly.
So you can spend 2.
This is like a guaranteed plus. Why is any guaranteed plus good?
I would really hesitate to call this a true plus because it just gives it back. You invested 1 card in field, and then you paid the stock that it generated to get it back. So I guess you're constantly breaking even by playing this card, and it's vanilla that constantly breaks even. I guess that's interesting, but I don't think it's good.
Sounds like infinite value to me.
I think D plus. I think it's actually bad. I don't.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you could just play a 1/1 that's bigger and holds board.
Like I'd rather invest the 1 up front for something that was much better than this.
Rather than win board too.
Yeah, the fact that this doesn't win board, it doesn't hold. Like it's only big on attack. It clears a lane. It dies on your opponent's turn, or gets back up against because it's only a 55 and you lose it. It's just like, I don't know, for the same reason that paying to save characters at the end of your attacks is horrific, I think is what makes this card bad. The only positive is it comes back to your hand.
I think I agree with you.
But it comes back to your hand, so if you have Giraffe, you get a look at the top card.
Oh my god. The Giraffe synergy. It all comes back to Giraffe, guys.
You're right.
It's Giraffe all the way down. It doesn't matter what card you're playing, it synergizes with Giraffe. Look at the top
Every
card.
Revue Starlight deck, you start with 4 Giraffe, and then go from there.
Every deck, 4 Giraffe.
I think that's the play, yeah.
Always Giraffe. Giraffe forever.
All right, I guess it's like a D plus.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a D after Carmen converted me, but D plus for Giraffe synergy.
Yeah, Giraffe synergy. All right, next. I think this is you, Brian.
Yeah. Ready to challenge the stage, Claudine. 10/4500. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, it gets 1500 power, goes up to 6000 until the end of the turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the 1k1 book climax is in your climax area, put up to 1 card from the top of your deck into your stock, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, put it into your hand. So it does the Union effect and gets up to 7000 power. However, it is 4500 on the opponent's turn, unlike Union.
This is the same card as Len. This is Len, but blue.
It's not on bar though.
Well, no,
Thank
Len
God.
is on climax play, so you can recur the 6K power. This you can't. So this is one and done. It's worse than Len by a little bit. And the trade-off is that it's a book, which is, I think, worse than bar.
I hate book.
A book always draws another climax.
I like book better than bar.
That's dangerous, Andy.
I hate bar.
I think that if you had a really stock-intensive finisher, Calruco, this card could be really good. However, it's the wrong character. So I don't know. I think you
just make the rest of your deck.
Yeah, you'd have to run a lot of blue. So I think you could get. I think you could get away with it. You could run
the oversized Maya that we showed.
You could run the oversized Maya.
Maya, maybe
you could
like
run
a 4
the
of that.
You could run the. I don't think you run it at 4 of.
If you're trying to blue fix, or you
no, because that runs right into the Futaba that you need to run. So
you can play the Futaba and field the Maya next to it, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying you run 4 and 4. I think
you just run 4 and 4.
I think you could run 3 of the Maya oversize, 2 of the Maya oversize, 3 of the Claudine Mill engine, because that card's just strong in the Calrica deck, and then you could run like the Claudine Climax fix. You could swap out some of your yellow tech. Like you could swap the what's it called? I can't believe I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. Well, you could run the Juno Brainstorm. That's also blue. I'm trying to think what else is blue. What's another blue card at 0 that's really good? I was trying to think here.
I think the box promo, is decent if you're looking for a blue fix.
Yeah, we're going to get to those at the end of this. We're going to tack the promos onto blue here. There's another blue 0 that I think you could run for fix. The problem is you need to hit it at 1, right? So you could keep the same ratio by cutting some of the red tech cards. Like you could cut down. I think if you run this in the Calruco build, you don't run the Mahiru, the 1-0 Mahiru that I like so much. I think you just run this and then you run more Futabas and Calrucos at 1, or more 0s that have utility that are Futabas and Calrucos. So I think you can run this feasibly. The problem with this combo, as we all know, is that the plus doesn't always happen, especially when you run a lot of 0s, as Revue is wont to do. So you're already like down in that aspect. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. You could swap out some of your yellow tech. Like instead of running the sack counter, you could run the 2-1 Junibomb instead for your anti-early play. So you could make some sort of non-intrusive substitutions to blue fix to get this out reliably at 1, so I don't think that's the issue. It's that this doesn't always plus. It's not very selective, which I think the Calruco deck values above all in its mid-game is selectivity. And, Union always stocks a climax every time.
Yeah, I'm extremely wary of cards like these after playing so much Konosuba.
And you don't even wall. You don't even sit at 6K.
This doesn't even wall. Yeah.
Quote unquote wall. 6K walls.
Yeah. I think it's a playable card. I'm gonna give it a B. I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah, B plus. Like if Revue later on in the second set when it comes to English, I say when, stressing when, it's coming.
Yeah.
If there is a stock-intensive finisher where you need a lot to pull it off, like something of the Pito Muramasa, build your own America endgame, that levels of stock, which is even more ridiculous than Calruco requires, I think you have to run this. And the fact that they have it is good. You have the option. It exists.
Right. It exists.
You can run it. And hey, it's a rare, and it combos with a climax common. So this is pretty powerful in a budget build.
I guess one thing worth noting about it too is if you're running like the prescribed blue deck, Road's trying to get you to run, right? The Claudine Maya deck. The Maya and Claudine finisher is so efficient stock wise that from this card is, I don't want to say irrelevant, but not necessarily as needed.
It
Yeah.
incentivizes you to dump stock, like at 2. You can like puke out a bunch of early plays, like puke out a bunch of Mahiru early plays to like mill out your deck and find all your stuff for your end game because they look at 5. So like you could
That's not bad.
you could build stock and then immediately pay it out instead of all the other decks that run this union combo where they hold on to it forever because they have to. You
Plays
could
around
like
stock flushes.
yeah,
It's
I
harder to
think
stock flush you.
we didn't mention this when we were talking about Maya and Claudine, but I think another reason to play Maya and Claudine is that it's good against stock flush. It's good against stock swap because it's so efficient. You don't need to hold stock.
Yeah, the low stock investment definitely helps there.
Everybody talks about it when they talk about AOT. It's the same sort of thing. AOT only needs 4 or 5 stock to pop off. Same with this. So yeah, I guess if you're gonna play this into the, as Andy said, prescribed finisher, where you're playing book pants, bang dream, nightmares.
I hate blue triggers.
Yeah, I also hate blue triggers, but yeah, I think you just like aggressively pay it all out with early plays, slam down a bunch of Mahirus, mill out your deck, and then go into your finisher turn. Maybe one of your Mahirus lives, and you have a free 2 soul for your side lane. Or some other early play. You play the Juna or something because you want to heal even more. If you want to be super defensive, and you don't have to feel bad because like Juna's not that great. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool that they have it, and it's cool that it's at rare and common, climax common. I think that's very neat for the set to have. This like effect is getting cheaper and cheaper in every set.
I think either a B plus or an A minus. Give it the A minus. I think these union sort of effects are pretty good, just in general, and even though it doesn't sit at 6K, it's still pretty good, and doesn't combo off of bar. Thank God.
I think book is equally as devastating.
Nope.
Yeah, I just hate when I don't have perfect information. Once I blind stock a card, then all of a sudden you have no idea how many climaxes you have left in your deck, and that's a big problem.
I guess that's true. You always know with book. All right, next card. All right, so this is me. Oh, so much fucking text. All right, prim and proper rep, Juna. If there are 2 or less climax in your waiting room, this card gets -1 level while in your hand. So it's an early play, and it heals on play. As a climax combo, when this card attacks with the shot climax, this is the same one that combos with the level 1 Nana, is in your climax area, and prim and proper rep Juna is in the middle position of your center stage, yet another one, it needs to be in the middle, you can pay the cost, which is pay 1 and pitch 1. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck, choose 4 cards from among them, put them into your opponent's waiting room, return the rest to your opponent's deck, and your opponent shuffles his or her deck, and this card gets 1,000 power. So that's a lot of text to say this card is a lot worse than Mocha, but it's an early play. I know JP loves this combo. When you see a lot of JP Revue decks, they like run 4 of this. And I think in that sort of environment where like every deck is like fucking ridiculous and every deck compresses like mad, especially when you're up against something stupid like 8-bar Miku, like looking at 12 cards from the top of your opponent's deck and deleting them is like the only way to do damage. But in the English format, this just doesn't do much. Like, yeah, you can get super lucky and see 3 climax and delete them all. And then your opponent is like, I don't know, ready to mill out because you only played 1 or 2 of these and you had to like have 2 shots.
Yeah, after I tested this deck a whole bunch. And it just felt like off of this at level 2, you either, like you said, you need to have a shot, which because you're doing it the turn before.
Yeah. The fact that you need to have
Even
two
if
shots.
you're doing that, you're probably not tri-fielding this. Like when I was playing the deck, a lot of times I would have like in one of this.
So like one of the Nanas and two of the
Like
Nanas and one of
like
this?
like two Nanas and one Juna. And also another important thing to note with this card that this one also has to be middle position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it only gets the 10-5, so 11-5 on climax play. Which like
It's just I wish the card had a little bit better stats, because if you're running a build and you're kind of forced to run 4 copies of this overwhelming card, it's only 9,500
Mm-hmm.
I think if
run
this
over.
I think if this looked at maybe 2 cards for the cost of maybe pay 1 or pitch 1, like just one or the other, and it was if you have a full field early play, this card would be a lot better in the English format. But it is unfortunately 2 or less, which like we've said, like it's hard to miss it, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
It does heal. That's relevant. There's not like how many early play heals are there? There's Rem. There's this. There's some, but not that many. This plays into like the sort of defensive heal strategy of the Claudine Maya finisher, I guess, where you're healing at 2 and you're healing at 3. So you're like kind of getting stuff back. I get, but like
I mean, that's a lot of setup though, trying to climax combo at 1 and then again at 2 and then again at 3.
this is
I
just
mean,
one.
in that build, to be fair though, you are running shot and blue gate.
Okay,
Can kind of
the blue gate
start
does help.
stockpiling shots, but I guess the Claudine does dig for the blue gate again when you come around to that part of your deck.
I don't know.
But in the games I've played where you don't see the shot triggers and you're drawing all your pants and not your shots, bad,
this is a card.
really bad.
This is just yet another card where I wish Revue had access to a climax swap that was reliable. Where like this would be fine if you could run like, you know, 2 stocks, two book, two of this. You run a mixture of the Maya and the Nanas at 1, like 3 and 3 maybe, and then you run this as early plays, and then you run 4 of the gate or the blue gate. Like if you had a climax swap, that would be much more doable to run 3 climaxes. Like plenty of decks do it when they have access to climax swap, but because they don't, that makes that really hard to justify, especially when, like we just said, like you need to play the Nanas, and then you need to have another shot to play the next turn or the turn after that. Like, you know, 1 or 2 turn like leeway there for when you're gonna need the second shot to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't plan on. Maybe we're thinking about it wrong, right? Like maybe you don't plan on at level 2. Maybe Juna's not a 4 of. Maybe she's like a 2 of, and you know, if you get her and have an extra shot left over, great. You don't try to aggressively set up for it.
Yeah, I think that line of thought makes a lot more sense, for sure.
It's just like when I think about, I try to think about early plays and I compare them to like the splashable early plays that other decks run that have good enough effects on their own. They don't need climaxes and they're free to play. Like things that come to mind: Mesmerizing Water Goddess, like very impactful, goes to 11 on its own, heal to stock. So like for an investment of 1, you get an 11k beater. Tana bought a pair, has a resonate requirement, which is fake at that point in the game, and also draws 2, ditches 1, and has yet another free condition or more play at the field, and swings for 11 on its own. Like this card is a 10-5, or it's an 11-5 with the climax play because you can't get 1,000 power unless you play the climax, and all it does is heal. Like,
yeah,
so like the top part of this card is Rem, And the bottom half of this card is bad. Like, compared to Rem. Like, Rem is a threat that needs to be answered. When Juna comes down, like, and when Andy says he has experience playing the deck, I think I probably have the most experience running into this.
Yeah.
And this card feels great to run into. Like, you see it come down, and you're like, oh, God, thank God they aren't playing something that matters. Like, you know, like, I could care less.
Yeah.
You spent 2
It
stocks.
just feels weak, yeah.
I didn't even bother anti-changing this card. Like, I was holding, like, every game I played against Andy when he was playing this, and I was playing ReZero, I had the sack counter in my hand, and I was like, I don't even give a fuck about this card. Like, I don't care at all. I'll just reverse it with Rem or Felt next turn. Like,
Yeah, it feels kind of like, at least body-wise, it feels like Detonative Dame. I mean, Dame is more impactful on play, but they both sit there at 95, and they just kind of die on swing back most of the time anyway.
But Dame is a 1-stock investment that has a chance to ping your opponent for 1 and negs your opponent's field.
Yeah, which is significantly better than this card.
Yeah, I don't know. This card is almost bad. I'm gonna give it a C. But it's almost it's C minus. It's almost D. It's almost horrific. I think again, I think in JP people love this card for good reasons. But I don't think it has a place in English right now. Unless something like the Miku Hellscape happens in English.
Yeah, I think unless the English meta devolves into Compression Fiesta, this card doesn't have a place.
Well, I guess
unless you're playing the Juna Nana deck that's running the level 1 shot combo.
Yeah, if you're already running the Nana,
I think at that point you run a couple of this.
I think it's worth splashing this if you're already running the shot with the Nana. Aside from that, it's not worth building a deck just for this card for sure.
Well, Weiss is already a Compression Fiesta in general these days.
That's true.
But I mean, I don't know.
In case it becomes a JP Compression Fiesta.
Yeah, I don't know. Miku 8-bar is on a different level. Stuff like that. Because it happens so fast. If you've ever seen that deck work, it in the span of 1 turn, they go from no stock to 7 stock or not 8, something ridiculous, and then their whole deck's clean. But yeah, I feel like Delete is never as strong as it seems, especially after playing. I think I've played with Mocha the most in our local group, and Mocha's great when you're playing against players that are good, right? And players that always value their compression and always do compression. But Mocha is a true endgame finisher that heals at the end of the turn, that is free, and it's off a bar, so you'll always have it. You'll always have Mocha. She'll always heal at the end of the turn. She'll always look at 2 from the top of their deck. And it's all free. This has a cost, and it shuffles back, so you don't get to set it. And you don't get to set your own deck. Maybe this would be good enough if you got to do it to your own deck. You got to look at the top 4. So on attack, it would thin your deck, I guess.
I could dig that, yeah.
Or you got to look at 4 and put them back on your deck in any order, but your opponent had to shuffle. I think that'd be fine. But as it stands, I don't think this card's worth it. Niche minus.
Yeah, it needs some form of help in order to be playable for sure.
All right, we've talked on this enough. I don't want to see Juna anymore. Next card.
Too bad it's Juna.
All right. 0-0. Everybody in front of this card gets 500 power, so frontal 500. And tap to search your deck for a Revue character, add it to your hand.
Hey, this card is worse than Giraffe!
Inferior Giraffe.
It's fixed Giraffe. Remember we were saying that card would be a
No.
little less shitty if it gave frontal 5?
Wait, this is the same card as the Batman Ninja Rare.
It is. It is.
This is the same
And it's
card.
an uncommon.
And it's blue. This card gets an S plus for being better than the Batman Ninja card. No, I'm kidding, but
it's weaker than Giraffe.
It is weaker than Giraffe, and Giraffe isn't
better
great.
than Giraffe. At least it gives 500 power.
Oh, tap 2 search is just bad, and a level
Still an F.
assist is bad. Yeah, it's just an F. It's a bad card.
But Giraffe.
In
I don't think we do
Batman Ninja, this card would be an A.
Oh, just wait till the Batman set review.
Oh yeah, we're doing that. That's happening. Villains, villains, villains. All right, next card. No more of this.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Stage Girl Summer Claudine. When this card's placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Revue character, put it into your hand and discard a card from your hand. So draw ditch. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, mill 2. If you hit a climax, it gets 3,000 power, so it goes up to 45. I like this card.
This card's amazing. Mills 3 on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact that you get to go through 3 cards of your deck is extremely powerful on a utility level 0.
And that you get to choose the sequencing. So, say you're in this situation, and this has happened to me more than once playing Revue. There are like 3 or 4 cards left in your deck, and you're trying to mill it all out to go into your next deck. If there's gonna be a climax in there, you do the mill first, and then you do the top check, because that's like more chances to hit the climax, basically, to get it out of your deck. Or like if you're on first deck, you do the first effect first, and then you mill 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Combine this with the Mahiru / Giraffe effect. God forbid you put Giraffe in your deck. It's just even better because you can sequence it. You can sequence it because all the effects go off at once, right? So you can mill the top 2, then look at the top card, then decide if you want to, or you can look at the top card, decide if you want to take it or not. If you don't want to take it, you can mill 2,
and then check another one.
Then check the third one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, this card is very similar to the Sora from No Game No Life, which instead of getting 3,000 power gets an extra 2 soul for the turn. But I've had very good results with that card.
Just it's the sequencing. The fact that you can choose how it resolves is what makes it good. It's a card that has the potential to mill 3 on its own. This is the backbone of like the Scry Till You Die package, where like all you do is look at the top card of your deck. This is like one of the cards that makes that deck so good. And I think you run this as like at least a 2 of in most Revue lists. I think it's that strong. 3 card mill on a stick, really good. And it's if you do hit a climax, a 4,500. It kills Futaba.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's simple, it's good. This is A plus.
It's a good card. Yep.
Solid A. Didn't really have much to say about that one.
Yeah, it's just good. We knew it was coming. We talked about this card a lot in our other cards because, like, yet again, this is like the backbone of that whole engine. I think even if you're only running this at 2, this card is just perfect in all the situation. It's also worth noting that the runner Hikari is in the left of this art, so you can like put them next to each other on the same card or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's cute. All right, next card. Revue Duet, Maya Tendo. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, this card gets 1,500 power until end of turn. When this card attacks, choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 1,000 power until end of turn. So by itself, it's a 65, and it can give a character 1,000 power.
By itself, it's a 55.
It's a 55.
55, yeah. It can buff itself.
Basically an oversize.
This is boring. It's a boring card. A big D.
Seems bad.
It can give power to itself or something else, so you do have options, but I just don't. This is like, I don't know. This is like Phil. You're trying to improve your trial deck. It's the only time you use this card.
Yeah.
If you want
lowercase d.
Small d.
Small
All
d.
Right. Next.
All right, Leotard, Juna, and Mahiru. 105k at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. You can pay 2. If you do, choose one of your Revue characters in this card. And that Revue character gets plus a level and plus 1,000 power.
Stand and swap that gives
Could be pretty useful to save your characters from suicides.
Stand and swap
I do love my stand and swaps.
Imagine playing against Sunshine and making your card a level 2.
Wow, it's almost
and
like
running this away.
It's almost like playing Puck, except not at all like playing Puck.
Yeah, it's all right. I like the fact that it gives a level.
It's an overcosted stand and swap at 2, but it's at level 1 and it gives a level in power.
Yeah.
And
That is a lot of stock. You're right. That is overcosted.
you can do this at any point in the game. That's worth noting. Stand and swap is really disruptive. You think stand and swap is whatever until you play against someone that knows how to use it. Like stand and swap. Like I remember the first time Paul stand and swapped on me with that Remy and Cosme, like
No,
under the full moon.
Yeah, the summer festival.
And I
one.
was like, wow, this card's like so freaking good. And I started running it in my like Cosme waifu build and stuff like that. And those cards always do work. And like you played Betty, stand and swap, and like Brittany also has that deck. Yeah, Darkness too. Well, Darkness is the most ridiculous because it's a 18 whatever.
Comes out at level 1 and stand and swaps around.
Stand and swap at 1 is strong. This is pay 2, but it does give a level. Lets you dodge like Chica, I guess. You get to 1, but like, oh, the level 1's so tight. Can you really? I guess you could run this as a 1-of. You could search it.
Maybe. I think my bottom line for the card is I think it's too expensive for a stand and swap. I don't think I could see myself running this in any circumstance, really.
I don't think it's overcosted though, because it happens at 2 and does give a level in power. Like I think the cost is correct, and the fact that it's still a 500 is good. And it buffs the other card. Yeah, I think this is good enough. It's super niche, but like I don't know, C+.
I'm gonna give it a C-. I think there might be a place for it somewhere, but I personally don't think it's that great of a card.
It's cool that they have this effect so early in the game. I think that's neat, and it is relevant throughout the game. And you can easily search cards in Revue, so you could like put this in as a 1-of. If you like run into a lot of Sunshine, and you want to fuck with them even more than with the Calrico back row, you could also put this in the deck. You could like build a Sunshine hate deck, where all you do is hate on Sunshine players with it. You can also like put it. It also is decent against Ruby because it gives a level.
I guess.
I mean, I'm really reaching here.
Yeah.
I like stand and swap too.
It's like a C-. It's niche, but I don't think you'd be able to find room for it.
Yeah. All right, next.
All right, the next Starlight Maya. This card is a 1/1 5,000 power. Gets 2,000 power for each of your other the next Starlight Claudine on your center stage. If there is a marker underneath this card, all of your the next Starlight Claudine get 2,000 power. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Revue character, you can put it face up underneath this card as a marker. Carmen, you want to read the other card, or?
Yeah, I can do that. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, if you have 2 or more other Revue characters, you may draw 1 card. If you do, choose 1 card in your hand, put it into the waiting room. So it's draw ditch. So the 1/0 draw ditches, and if you play it with this package, you get a 6/5 and a 7. Too many slots. Too many slots.
And
Too many
considering
slots.
the Maya's a 1/1, I don't like it.
It takes too many slots. You have to run this at like 3 and 3 to get value out of it. It does marker, which is interesting. It markers something outside of this package, unlike the weird tag Karen Mahiru combo, which was like F triple minus, like garbage. I think this one is like reasonable. I think if one of these got Encore, then it'd be good, like actually good. But as it stands, like 1/0 draw ditches are better than you think. But the fact that it's a 1/0 draw ditch that does nothing else and needs to take up at least 2 lanes, so you can't even like field this with the Claudine like climax combo and feel good about it. Also makes it bad. Yeah, I don't know. This is just bad. This is D.
Yeah, seems
D.
bad.
Too many slots. Too many slots.
I'll give it a C. I think maybe in your, what Maya and Claudine waifu deck.
It's like your backup
All
plan
right.
in the Maya Claudine.
Other
waifu
level
deck.
ones you run in addition to the Claudine book combo.
Yeah.
Makes a pretty solid field for you. Like that's a 7K and a 6/5 to draw ditch. That's not bad for only one stock.
Yeah.
Playable in that deck and that single deck.
All right. Next.
Whatever.
Is this me, I guess?
You can do it, sure.
All right. All right. 2-1. Secret of the best. Maya Tendo. Assist. All of your level 3 characters in front of this card get plus 2k. Pay 1, pitch a climax. When this card is placed on the stage for hand, you okay the cost if you do choose. Oh, they do have one!
Oh,
I've been cheated and lied to! And it's a 2k in front for level 3s.
Well, it exists.
It does exist. I've been mistaken this whole time, and now I sound like an idiot in all these other videos. Yeah, now I'm upset. I sound really stupid. I'm sorry, everyone. I still don't think you have space in the deck for this. This is a bad climax swap. Just because of the level 3 or higher, and you don't have a like super heavy level 3 game, but I guess it does synergize with the Juna because the Juna is the early play. So I guess it synergizes for exactly that case that we were talking about, where you.
Oh, and it does help you get the shot into your hand.
Yeah, it helps you get the shot back, which I still don't think even playing the shot with the Juna is good though. Like that's the problem. So it's cool that they have it. Climax swap is good. If there is a like when the second set comes, if there's a very like abusive level 3 early play strategy, like something REM tier, these level 3 2Ks immediately become the go-to pick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for now, I think this card is just like niche. Or I don't know. Climax swap's good. Climax swap's good. The effect is good. The card that it is meant to help doesn't exist yet. But
I guess it helps the Juna early plays be slightly less bad.
Yeah.
I guess I think it's a playable card. I like the level 3 characters get 2,000 power effect. Climax swap is generally pretty good too.
Pretty decent the non-Juna deck.
I think if they had like the Elza Bomb from GGO, I think that's the climax swap I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to make myself sound any less stupid, because I was very stupid. I should have looked at all the cards much closer before saying they didn't have one. But I think
Carmen, come on.
I think that I'm sorry. I think this is
unacceptable.
I think this is like almost as close as not having one. It's hard to put this in a deck, but just because you don't have early plays that like really matter as much. But it is good with Juna. That's worth noting. It makes Juna suck less. So I guess anything that makes Juna suck less is good. And again, second set. The effect exists, and it exists in the late game instead of in the early game. So you can't use this at 1. So that's big, I guess. If you're trying to do like a dual Maya and or not Maya, Claudine and Nana at 1, this doesn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, but it does exist. Let's move on.
All right, Revenge Juna Hoshima. The 2/1 bottom deck bomb, anti-early play, and climax combo with book. It's placed on your climax area. If this is in your center stage and you have 2 or more other Revue characters, you may choose one level 1 or lower character on your opponent's backstage and put it on the bottom of his or her deck. That's not bad.
It's sync.
But it's a form of removal, I guess.
It is sync, yeah.
It's sync.
And sync doesn't plus at all, which is my biggest problem with it. I mean, you can shoot a brainstormer or something, but
well, there's a much more important effect on this card too.
Yeah.
I don't think you run the climax combo with this card, but I think on its own, just the fact that it's a bottom deck bomb.
Yep, bottom
Roll.
deck bombs are good. I think it's the
B+.
best bomb. It's the best version because like bottom of the deck.
Can't
On.
encore it.
Yeah, bottom deck is good. Guaranteed clean damage if they're close to the end of their deck.
It racked Conan. No encore for you.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's it does sync with a book. Oh, gross.
I hate book.
Yeah, B minus. It's definitely a B plus for being a bottom deck bomb at 6K, which is good, but bad because the first effect is useless.
Yeah,
Just ignore the book,
yeah, I think
and
for
it's a B
the
plus.
for the reverser effect, it's a B. It's a playable card. It's
Well,
useful.
but other cards, like okay, what is this most similar to? The Rem that also has a climax combo.
The Rem or the Kaoru from Hello Happy.
Well, and here's the Rem. The Rem has a bond to it, which makes
Yeah,
it the best one. The Brainstormer
The
bonds to it,
Brainstormer bonds for it. Yeah.
which is like so good.
I mean the 2/1 bomb Rem also combos with a stock soul, which I prefer significantly over book.
Yeah, book sucks. Yeah, this is a bottom deck bomb that you can play in Revue Starlight, and that's it. Does what it needs to do. Bomb them out. Next.
All right, we have Pajama Party Claudine. 2/1, 6,000 power. Gets 1,000 power for each of your other Revue characters. Full board goes up to 10k. When this card's level 2 or higher battle opponent becomes reversed, you may pay the cost of 1 stock. If you do, search your deck for a Revue character, reveal it to your opponent, and put it into your hand. It's okay.
Solid in a budget build, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
like these cards.
In budget, it's okay. I like the effect better on the Calling for Teacher Megumin in Konosuba, which got big against level 3s, so you could almost guarantee your plus.
Yeah, because it's on a level 3 killer. Because that was my main point with this is this card is worse now in English more than ever because everybody just slams out giant early plays at level 2, so you don't even get a chance to use this unless you like get hit to 2 first, in which case you're like, I don't know, when you like skip 1 and you get hit to 2, you're just losing super hard. And it's usually like your fault when you're in those scenarios because like, I don't know, you didn't play to like not get level locked, I guess.
Yeah, with how prominent early plays are in the meta, the level 2 game is non-existent. It's just early plays all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know. I think these cards are boring. I don't like the profile. They don't have a place in English right now. D+.
I think it's niche. Give it a C.
Double D.
I only meant to type 1D.
I'm gonna say Claudine's not what you're looking for there. But
Still the best character.
She's looking cute with her iPod though. I don't know where that full art is from. Like, there's all these Pajama Party cards. There's some sort of full, like, spread art of all the girls or something.
Probably like a promotional.
Yeah, this is definitely not a screen cap from the show. I don't think. All right.
It does go in. That card does go in your child actor trait deck, though.
Oh God. Wee woo, police. All right. Next card. Okay, Precious Memories, Juna. This ability activates up to 1 time per turn. When your other Precious Memories, Nana, is placed on the stage from hand, you may put the top card of your deck into stock. So stock charges you, and it ditch bonds for this 1/7K. At least it follows the profile of a bonder that makes sense, right? You play it at 0. It gives you it like gets the stock back, I guess, when it's played. It doesn't give it power, but it like refunds you for playing a Nana, so you get a free 7K.
Yeah, so if you're running these cards at 4 and 4, you're effectively just getting 8 copies of the 1/7K.
Which is like, you get to play it for quote unquote free.
It's okay. Maybe I'd try it in some sort of budget list, but
could you sequence it in a way where you play cards to stage before you pay cost. Can you sequence this in such a way where you stock the top card of your deck and then pay for the Nana with it? That's like a weird rules question. Just like, I don't know, as a sidebar. Because I know technically you play cards to stage first, then pay for them.
I want to say you pay the stock first and then are stock charged.
Yeah, I would say that too. I think it'd be better if you could resolve it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
what would be the point of having that text on there if you could why not just make the card free to begin with?
Because you could play it alone without the Juna, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you can sequence it like that.
All right, I don't know. This is better than average. I mean, it's still not good, but
yeah, I think it's niche.
Yeah, I get a niche minus. It's still
niche
bad.
Minus. Yeah,
It's almost bad, but it does give you a vanilla for free.
It's okay, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, it gets.
I don't know. I like how you put it, Brian. Though it's like effectively 8 copies of the 1/1.
But the question is, do you want to be running 8 copies of the 1/1?
In Pauper, I guess.
Probably not, but I don't. It's not the worst thing.
Pauper, Weiss Schwarz.
You could be doing a lot worse. You could be playing.
No, this is what Batman Ninja needs.
You could be playing the Karen tag.
This would be great in Batman Ninja.
Compare this to the Karen tag. This is a much better pairing level 1 cutesy thing than that, which was like F triple minus garbage, trash fire.
The Akatsuki that you had to ditch the vanilla 3K for.
Yeah. So this is
better than that. I still stand by what I said. I still think that's not bad.
All right, next before
don't
we fight
shit on
about
3Ks, dude.
They're basically oversized.
They are.
All right, this is you, Andy.
My vision. 99th Seisho Festival, my Nintendo. All of your other 99 Seisho Festival Claudine get 1,000 power and bond to that Claudine. V Draft All-Star.
Nope.
Just a big nope, silent nope. I don't know. It makes them 4Ks.
I mean,
it's a straight plus at level 0.
I guess it does plus, yeah. Okay, F plus.
It turns your basically oversized into an actual oversize.
But two bad cards together to make a decent card.
F plus. It's a free plus.
If we consider the Juna to be running 8 copies of the Nana, is this like running 6 copies of the Claudine at 4K? It's like they're everyone is half.
This is better than the last card. This is an actual plus.
I guess it does plus the Claudine. That's true. Yeah, I'll give it F plus.
It's not bad at all.
I think this is bad. You can
solid C tier. It's an actual plus.
It is an actual plus, but you plus for a bad card.
Pay out of it.
Okay, put it this way: you can run 4
at level 0. It's a free plus. It gives you a 4K.
But you can run 4 Maya and 4 Futaba, and they're 4Ks, and one of them swings for 2 soul. It does plus, but you know what else plus is? The Calruco that pluses to a better card with the same effect.
Or Brainstorms. Brainstorms plus. Just brainstorm for something.
Is the Calruco a clock bond?
Yes, clock bond to the Futaba.
That is a demerit.
Yeah, this is it's bad. It's bad.
I guess we'll go D.
D.
I guess that the Calruco and Futaba is just better, probably.
It's worth noting that Claudine is like she's cheesing over there, and Maya's like nervous. She's got the little sweat thingy. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to be up here." All right.
Wow, these cards don't even have flavor text.
Next card.
All right, Unreachable Existence Maya. All of your other review characters get 500 power. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, look at the top card of your deck, keep it there, or put it on the bottom. When top star, the blue stock soul is placed on your climax area. You may pay the cost of 1 stock. If you do, choose a review character in your waiting room and return it to your hand.
It's like a bad Amagi that only gets a card from waiting room.
Yeah, I mean, it top checks on play.
It's an actual scry, not just a top check.
Yeah.
It mills 1, yeah.
Well, no, it puts it.
It goes to bottom. Yeah, it's legit scry. Yeah.
Oh, this is hard. This is like the back row budget combo of the set. It is a stock soul, which is better than most of these get.
I do like stock soul.
I like the fact that it's a global 5. And the scry effect's decent, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
it's not horrible.
The stock soul pays for the plussing effect, so it's okay.
So yeah, you play the climax, and so the climax basically replaces itself with a card from waiting room.
I think this is probably another instance of where, if you're trying to build a competitive deck, you probably don't play the climax combo.
Yeah, you just play it.
Maybe if you're playing like a Maya waifu deck.
Yeah.
Probably is good enough.
So I guess it's like, I don't know. It's definitely not bad. It's like not terrible.
There
are far worse things you could run. It's on stock soul. It's like C+.
It's a C. It's niche.
I think it's better.
Maya waifu deck.
Yeah, Maya waifu. Maya waifu only. Oh my god, next card. It's me. It's a vanilla.
Read it up.
A 99 Sideshow Festival. Claudine Sideshow. Another card for your I'm going to jail deck.
Child actor trait, yeah.
Child actor trait. Vanillas are basically oversizes. It's F. Vanilla. No time for vanillas.
Niche.
Niche vanilla.
3K is basically an oversize.
3K. Alright. Next. To you, Andy.
Is that the same art as the last card?
Mm-mm. In this one, her eyes are more open or something. Well, it's closer.
It's like the same facial, like, it's the same angle right at her face.
Yeah.
It's slightly more zoomed in, and she's in a different outfit.
This is the one that combos with
yeah,
the 117K.
So this becomes a 6/5, yeah, with the other one, and it draw ditches if you have 2 or more review characters. Draw ditch is decent.
What did we rate the other one? I think it just again goes hand in hand with that one.
It was bad, yeah.
Yeah, it was D. D. Big D.
And this is probably also D.
Yeah, I don't think having to run 2 mediocre cards in order to make an okay card is worth anything.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Too many slots. Next.
We have Excessive Self-Practice Juna, 1/0-6500. At the beginning of your encore step, put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is level 1 or higher, put this card into your waiting room.
Yuck.
Garbage. Gross. I don't even want to hear more about this card. F double minus. Super bad. The cost you pay to play a 1065 in 2019.
Shouldn't be that steep, but whatever.
Hey, it could mill a climax. Going into your opponent's next turn.
Yep.
But it won't die.
I guess
it doesn't die. Oh my god.
The optimal deck for this card is a deck that is nothing but level 0s and this card.
Why do they print these cards? Like, I understand bad cards needing to exist, but this is just another level. This is like fooling a new player level of bad, where they open this card in a pack and they think this card came in a booster. It has to be better than the card in my trial deck. No, it's not. So bad. Like, I don't know. Next time I see this card, remind me to rip it up.
I think I might have a copy.
All right. Next. Is this me? Oversleeping Claudine Sideshow. It's a 1/1 level assist. Tap this card, choose one of your review characters, give it 1,000. Level 1 buff that taps for 1,000. Not bad. This
It's
is
not
like
terrible.
this is like Aaron in reverse. The 1-0 Aaron. It's not as good because it's only in front. Whereas Aaron gives 1,000 on your turn and then taps for an extra 5. This
I
is
think
like,
it's important to note that the Aaron's a 1-0 also.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
pay for this. But I mean, level assist has value going into your next turn. This is really simple. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely bad, but it's better than average for bad. It's D plus or like C minus somewhere in there. D plus C minus. It's really hard to tell. If for some reason there's like a card that comes out in the next set that like gains levels at 1. Oh, I guess this is really good with the Karen, right? That can come out at 1. The Karen that like eats cards from the top of your deck.
Oh, and gets levels. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it. Yeah, with that.
How big does it need to get? How high of a level do you need to
As
be?
big as you can go, Andy. The sky's the limit. Level 8. Level
That's
8.
That's 4,000 extra power.
Is it? No, it's like 7 times 1,500. That's 7 times 5.
It's 15. It's
That's
15.
10,500 extra power.
Yeah. No, and then
On
it's
top of the power it already gets.
No, it's not. That'd be 10 levels. I can't do math. Math's hard. But
well, then at level 8, it's an extra 4,000 power from the level assist.
yeah, I think in that specific instance, this card is fine, and you can tap
Man, that
it.
sounds like a fun deck.
You can tap it to give it extra reverses. That card's a rare, right? Or is that card no? It's an uncommon, right?
I think it's an uncommon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is the Pauper Queen deck. It's this in the back, 3 of those. you tap it to give it an extra 1,000 to solidify your reverse. Oh, that's so fucking spicy. I want to build this now. With that card, this card is broken. But so with that, it is a solid C. But yeah, in all seriousness, if there is like a combo that gives a level, like a defensive level 1 or something, which like I don't know, some of those exist in JP, or like things that get levels after you play Climax, going in your opponent's next turn. Or like I don't know, that's design space that isn't explored as much. We might see something like that in a new set. This immediately becomes good because it's a level 1 level assist. Because otherwise you couldn't get that value, and it taps for 1,000. 1,000's a lot.
Yeah, I did mention this before when we were going over the red cards, but this set has so many level assists.
Yeah, lots of level assists, lots of brainstormers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we keep gushing about that stupid 1-0 Karen. It's just it keeps coming back up.
It does.
All right.
All right, next card, 2/1, 3,500 backup. The biggest power buff you can get.
Very big. It's a big out of 10 for me. Well,
It's got best girl on it.
big out of 9 because I can't fit at 10. Juna Best. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Did you watch the show? Did you watch it with Tyler?
Yeah, yeah, we watched it yesterday in its entirety.
Oh, Juna worst. Big. I guess she's not Mahiru. Never mind. Juna's second worst.
Yeah, it's a playable card. 3,500 power.
Yeah. In all seriousness, yeah. It's like it doesn't do anything else. This would be 10 times better if it was Leaf a Punch, but 3,500 is not bad. B minus.
B minus.
Next. Who dis? Me?
I think this is me.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, we got Top Star Seat My Tendo. 2/1, 8,000 power. If you have 4 or more Revue characters, you can early play it at level 1. This card becomes reversed in battle. Put it at the bottom of your deck.
It was good in draft.
There you go. Play this with the Claudine.
Yeah, it goes with the Claudine level 1 level assist.
Oh, that's true. The synergies just keep on coming. The card just gets better and better. But yeah, obviously, I guess that card is made to go with this and not the Karen Berserker monstrosity. But yeah, I don't know. This is a reasonable budget line to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an 8K. You can threaten the backups are like 150, $2. Have 2 of those. You play this out.
Yeah.
You have a unreversible. The Claudine's a common, and it can make this a 9K when you play it. So like you're
Guys,
way.
it goes to the bottom of the deck.
Oh,
It
who
dies
cares?
to shaking.
You know who else goes to the bottom of the deck? Puck.
Puck.
Puck's really good though. This is just okay.
Yeah, this is
Well,
just okay.
Puck comes out at level 1. This comes out at level 1. Same card.
This card.
Yeah.
This card is just okay.
Good point, Brian. Good point.
Just okay.
I think it's niche minus. I think it could be okay in some sort of budget list that's really centered around level 1. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's meant to go with this other Claudine,
Yeah, clearly.
but I don't know. She goes better with that Karen, man.
She does.
The Karen steamroller. All right. Next. Okay, Chronic Stage Fright. Chronic Stage Fright? Claudine Saijo. 2-1. When this card is placed from your hand, rest this card. When a blue climax is played in your climax area, stand this card. And it's a 10k with 1 soul. What the fuck is this?
The blue climax.
Oh, this is the galactic brain. The 3-2-1s, the blue climax. Stand this card. The fact that this says win the blue climax. Very dank. Dank. This gets a dank from me. Well, I don't want to copy top 2 tiers that much. It's a D. It's bad.
It is bad.
Are we just not doing letters anymore? We're just
putting
putting adjectives in the box.
Yeah, with. What the fuck? Yeah, this is definitely the weirdest card profile I've ever seen on a common, and that's saying something because I've seen some weird bad common cards. This is something else. Blue climax, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is bad. I don't know what this doesn't synergize with anything. If this card paired with something, I guess maybe. I don't know. It's just super weird.
It's big.
So what's this compete with? Like the Maya we just looked at. That if you play it behind the Juna, is it also 10? Or in front of the what's it called? The Claudine. Jesus. It's also 10. And it's at level 1. And you don't need to play a climax to stand it. It is cool flavor, though. Like, she gets straight stage fright and she collapses. And then when you play the climax, she stands up. I guess that's cool.
I guess the flavor is cool.
D plus for flavor. We always like flavor.
Flavor's cool. The card's bad, though.
All right. Okay, Andy, you can have this one.
Oh boy, oh boy. Event. Look at 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Revue character from among them. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it into your hand. And put the rest into your waiting room.
You
just delete your
delete
box.
my box? You can't delete my box.
Your opinion's overridden. This card isn't.
Did Andy delete your box?
Yeah, I can't put it back. I can't make it back. I'll just drag up Tyler's zombie box here. This is mine now.
I think Mill 4 events are solid B tier, solid playable.
Okay. Carmen's gonna get on his soapbox again. Mill 4 events that you cannot recur are bad. The fact that this card does nothing in your hand but Mill 4 is bad. It doesn't plus. Like, yes, you have to pay for your brainstormers and it's a chance. But like, I would rather go down. It
helped you get to your next deck.
I would rather go down a card. I would rather go down a stock than exchange this for a card in Mill 4. I would rather go down a stock and gamble on my compression because I know, like, if I wanted to Mill 4, I would play an Akatsuki. And unfortunately, they don't have one. So because they don't have one, instead of giving this an F, I will give it a D. Because they don't have a good Akatsuki, they have the Juna from the trial deck, which is also blue, but you can only do it at 2, and Akatsukis are best going from 0 to 1 in that area. Because they don't have it, even though you can't occur it, this Mill 4 event is better on average. It is better than it would be if they had another option. But this card is like, especially in Revue, this card, like, I'm on my soapbox. It's out. I'm stacking up boxes. I'm like 10 feet in the air. Like, this is this makes all your top check events worse. All of them. Like, as someone who's like lived the hell of slamming who's her name? The Chisato and whiffing because I revealed a toilet or fucking buns when there was only one event in my deck. Let me tell you, this will screw you when you most need it. Your top checks to go off. Like the fact that Revue doesn't hit on events, like no game, like Andy, I know you love these and you've played the most of them in like your no game deck, which you're like really good with, and like, but all of no game's top checks can also hit on events because the set has a bunch of events. Like this set doesn't. Like, oh, I hate these. I hate these when you can't recur them.
All right, Carmen, it's time to come down.
Okay, all right, I'm stepping down. But I do dislike these. If you could recur this event, I think it'd be fine. Any of these that you can pop back to hand or play on your opponent's turn, like Satellite Scan. Like comparing this Satellite Scan is like 10 times better. Because you have a billion ways to pop it back, and you can play it on your opponent's turn, where you know your compression's bad, and you can mill out, and you can pop them back when your turn ends. Because they have so many ways to... all this needed was a 5k Maya or Claudine, where on death, pitch a card, grab this. Even if you couldn't play on your opponent's turn. And it'd be great. I'd give it a B right there with you guys. Just don't like it. Big no. I'm going to give it a no.
A no.
Yeah.
This set does have an Akatsuki, though.
Nobody wants to fight with me. We've fought about this in restaurants long enough.
Yeah.
About the mill event.
This set has the Akatsuki Mahiru that has to ditch the Vanilla Karen, though. There's your level 1 Akatsuki.
Gross. All right. Next.
All right. I'll seize my own star. 3/2 event. Put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to the number of soul trigger icons revealed among these cards.
Main phase damage, lol.
I like it. It seems cheesy enough to go in something. I don't know what, but to go in something.
It would be cool if this card was a backup and it was like, okay, let's change the profile a little bit. This card is a backup. It's like a 3/4. And you play it after you've set the top of your deck with our like Bizarro World Juna that can set the top 4 cards after its trigger. Now that would be cool, but as this stands, this isn't cool. Just kind of boring.
Yeah.
It is just a 3/2. It's just a 3/2, which is like, I think that's
fine. The
fine.
nice thing is you can top check a whole bunch and make sure that you have at least one soul.
Yo, you could play the 1/0 Maya we saw a while back that looks at the top 2, puts them back in any order.
Or even just Giraffe or
Giraffe.
Mahiru or something.
Where at least you know you're running for 1.
Continuously look at the top card, you can make sure to deal at least 1.
Yeah.
For that reason, I think it's like actually decent.
I mean, this is no IMAS like JP 3/7 event, but it is a burn, and it mills, and it, I guess for soul triggers is better than for climaxes, that's for sure. The hell of a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is an extra instance of damage in a deck if you're running the Maya Claudine finisher that doesn't require a lot of stock to pop off.
If you're playing a budget deck where you're running stock souls, it's even better.
Yeah, you play the level 0 Juna stock soul thing, and you run this, and you run the Maya Claudine Bluegate finisher. You got yourself a deck.
I don't think this works in Maya like Claudine waifu though, paired, because this is technically a Juna card. Like, correct me if I'm wrong from the show. This is Juna's.
Yeah, that's Juna's note.
Yeah.
Flavor text is also Juna.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Main phase burns are fine. Soul triggers are fine. You could run stock souls to like, and if you know your compression, you'd be like, oh, I'll hit a stock soul. If you think about this like a brainstorm, you pay 2 brainstorm and you ping them for the number of soul, and if like you're thinking about your climaxes, if you're running a bunch of stock souls, like that's not bad.
No, that's not terrible at all.
Yeah,
I think
see?
it's solidly niche.
Very interesting card. All right, next. Promos.
Promos.
Who's this? Me?
This is you.
Okay, Feelings of the Two, Kaoruko and Futaba. If you have 2 or more characters with Futaba or Kaoruko as its card name, it gets 1,000 power. When this card is placed on the stage from hand, choose one of your other Revue characters, and this gets 50, and that character gets 1,500 until the end of turn. So this card is literally just better than the other one because it's a Kaoruko and a Futaba that we saw. Like, isn't there a blue card that does exactly this?
It's a Maya.
It was like a Maya, and it did it for anything, where it buffed itself for 2. Even though this is stricter, because it is the same profile, but a Kaoruko and Futaba, it's better.
Yeah, I think the Maya gave itself 1,500 on play and then gave something else 1,000, but it's close enough to be almost identical profile.
In the Kaoruko and Futaba deck, buffing another character is more important, so that just makes this card even better.
Yeah, and the fact that it is both Kaoruko and Futaba.
Yeah.
Probably makes it solid niche, right?
I think
Yeah.
Solid C.
C+.
I think it's niche plus, yeah.
Yeah, C+ because it's Kaoruko and Futaba. That's it. Next.
Okay, after class lesson, Karenijo. Level 0, your other character in the middle gets plus 500 to 3 times per turn. When your other Revue character is placed on the stage from your hand, choose one of your characters. That character gets plus 500.
This effect is in Bang Dream, and I've played with it a lot in my Cosme waifu deck. It was the little lolly, the little lolly Cosme. Well, that card also had Giraffe pay 2 salvage a character, pay 2 rest salvage. Which was good when you're running 8 gate and you trigger them like an idiot. But like the power pump at 0 does like really help you win board. The fact
you have to really overextend though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I guess in Bang Dream where all you do is puke and plus, like that's just their general game plan is like just vomit and then like just like eat it all back up, I guess. Like the life of a Bang Dream player is like just puking into a cup and drinking it.
Oh my god.
I mean,
it's true.
Yeah, that's like all you do. I don't know, in Revue, I think the name of the game in Revue at 0 is not overextending, but this effect is strong. Like, you put it down, it sits in the back, it has like a stupid normal buff, and then for every character you play, you give spot buffs. You can just give it anywhere. So, it's definitely a good, better supportive effect than you think. And it's more impactful than like a Global 5. The fact that it gives any other power is interesting. The other one didn't give any additional power at all. It just had the rest self, pay 2, salvage. So yeah, I think this is just another I think it's just normal niche because it goes up against Revue's game plan, but it's a strong effect.
Yeah, I was going to give it a C-, but I'll take your word for it that this effect does do work. It seems a little bit weak to me, but I'll give it a solid C.
It's weak in the set right now. I think in the future, maybe with the second set, there's stuff that wants to puke on board.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It has to be really good to be better than Futaba.
I wish it had. For me, it needs another effect other than plus power.
Yeah.
It's had like the top check effect with the bottom ability to 3 times give plus 500.
Yeah.
I'd be really digging this, but
yeah. Because if you think about it, like, I don't know, the bottom effect is just like a better Remy effect. You have to do it during main phase, but, it gives, you can give like 1,500 possibly.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to puke characters onto the board and potentially minus yourself, but...
Yeah, if it's worth it for you to win board that turn, this helps you get there.
I guess, yeah.
All right, next.
All right. After class lesson Hikari, 1/0, 4,000 power. During your turn, if you have another Revue character, this card gets 3,000 power. When this card attacks, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them on the top of your deck in the original order. So she does go up to 7, and she does let you sculpt your sculpt the order in which your 2 attacks after her go off. All in all, I don't think it's a terrible card. It's one of the, it's maybe the best promo we've seen so far.
So far, yeah. It gets to 7. That's like the magic on attack number, like 6, 5, 7 that you want to be at. And then it does give you information about your next attack. Yeah, I don't know. Niche plus. Like
I agree.
Any argument against that, Andy?
I kind of zoned out there for a second.
It was a boring card.
I think it's all right. It's niche. It's a 107k on your turn.
Hikari looking all smug. We love that.
You love that beret archetype, that beret trait.
Completely unused beret trait. All right, next card. Oh, here we go. An actual good promo card. Lunchtime, Mahiru. Yet again, it's a fucking Mahiru. Pay 1, pitch 1, salvage a character, give a character 1,000 power. All at once. Better than a typical drop.
And it gives 1,000 power.
Yeah, better than a typical drop salvager. It has to choose another character, but still, like 2,500 swinging as a drop searcher or drop salvager is fine. We keep saying drop searcher because like there is the one double drop searcher in the set, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think if you feel like you're really struggling to hit what you need from your waiting room on first deck, because like I don't know, say you open a box and you have like 3 Karens and you have this as your promo, you could run this in that slot. But otherwise, like I don't see why you run this over the Karen. I mean, like it does help you find stuff later in the game. 1,000 power is relevant later. It's definitely the best promo we've seen.
Yeah.
And I think it might be the best promo, period. But like this goes directly up against the Karen Riki, which has a better first effect. And like, I don't know, drop searchers and salvagers are really for helping you find your level 1.
I like to run a mix, of Ricky's and drop search / salvage.
I think that's fair.
Later in the game, this is still viable.
If you like that,
block yourself.
If you
can get exactly what you want.
Yeah, if you like that, this is a good option. It sucks that it's a promo because it has an inflated price. It's like $5 for no reason. But it does exist, and you can run it.
Definitely the best promo card. Probably the one you want to pull out of your box.
B minus.
Solid B, I think.
B plus.
Any sort of drop search or drop salvage card has or can have a role in almost any deck. I mean, at any point in a game, there's always something you're looking to find. So.
Yeah, B minus is a little harsh. B. B. Next.
Lunchtime, Nana and Juna. Are all these cards lunchtime?
Or some of them are after school class or something.
Okay, whatever. When you use this card's backup, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your waiting room, and it's a 2,000 backup. I don't know why I'd run this over the free 2K backup.
Because mill backups are galactic brain. Have you never seen Brittany mill 3, they're all clean, and then cancel on the next card? Absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, if you find yourself scorned by the gods of RNG, and you know that your entire deck is clean, and you need to mill through it desperately, I guess this is a last-ditch resort.
That's just planning for the worst, though. I don't like it.
I mean, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's good because it's a 1/1.
I think the fact that the deck has another 2K backup for free makes this kind of bad.
I think D plus is more apt. It's still bad. I think that if it was a 1-0 and it milled 2, it would be fine. The fact that it's a 1/1. It's definitely a Hail Mary. But, it exists. You can put it in there if you feel yourself so cursed. Or you feel yourself so smart. If you're the smartest player ever that knows every card in your deck.
And the exact order that they're in.
You can mill them. All right, last card, the last promo.
All right, we have 0/0, 2500 power. Feelings of the two, Claudine and Maya. When this card attacks, choose one of your other Revue characters. That character gets plus X power until the end of the turn. X is equal to the number of other Revue characters you have multiplied by 500.
This is a level 0 Shimakai. That's pretty cool.
It's not a terrible effect. It scales up decently well into the end game.
Yeah, it's relevant at any point in the game. It is a 0, so it has no chance of winning a lane past 0. But if you need extra power, it's just a free 2K on attack.
I think it's a really good blue fix for level 0.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, it's
Especially if like you can only run so many Claudines, right? Like the mill Claudine.
Mm-hmm. Card has cute art.
It does have cute art.
Mhm.
Staple card, I would say.
I don't know. Maya's being all aloof.
Claudine deck.
Claudine's being all jealous. Just like the entirety of their relationship.
Mhm.
In all seriousness, I think it's like actually a blue splashable card at 0. I'd give it a B.
I think so. I'm gonna give it a B-.
Yeah, I'm with Brian. B-. It's definitely playable. The effect is good. I don't think there was a better Shimakai that we saw, really. I think there was another 101 that buffed on attack, which would be,
probably.
which would be better than this. I feel like all sets have those, but the fact that this is at 0 and you can play it at any time does make it, like Andy said, a better splashable fix for blue. And yeah, I think that's it. We're all done. That's all the cards. We got through all of them.